The moon enters the sign of Scorpio Sunday, October 15th. Let's talk about it. So the way I see moon in Scorpios, or the way it always pans out, is that something normally happens when the moon is in Libra, right? In the social arena or in a partnership and commitment that causes some sort of chaos. And when the moon goes into Scorpio, it's like that event either causes us to do some shadow work, or it causes us to be on some revenge shit, or it might be something good and it causes us to merge even more with that partnership or that commitment. But whatever had happened the last 2 days, the best way to ride these shifts, I would say, is like whatever happened the last 2 days. It's like if there's something that happened in a partnership or a commitment or in the social arena that prompts you to do that shadow work during these next 2 days. Or if it prompts you to, like, it makes you feel closer to a person and you want to, like, merge even more with the person, then follow that instinct to merge even more with the person. If something happened when the moon was in Libra that wants you to dive more into the occult and the esoteric, then dive more into it. Or if something happens where it's like you want to get some revenge, that's more lower octave Scorpio, where you could really just take all that turbulent energy and emotion and just use it to transform yourself in your life. So that is how I would ride this wave, this little mini shift. And then when the moon goes into Sagittarius, whatever that was, like whatever you transformed when the moon was in Scorpio, or like whatever transpired when the moon was in Scorpio, when the moon goes into Sagittarius, it's going to expand that. So if it was in some revenge shit, it's going to expand it. Those feelings of internal anguish. And if you transformed, it's going to expand it. So then what could have been just a little transformation is going to be like a dramatic, bigger transformation. Like just whatever happens during the moon in Scorpio, so during these next 2 days, when the moon goes to Sagittarius, it's going to expand it. Okay, now let's get into it. So the moon is going to obviously conjunct Mars. So I like that. We're motivated. We have drive. We have a lot of energy. And yeah, this is being in the mood to work on your desires, to work on your intent. The moon is going to come into an opposition with Jupiter. With the moon opposing Jupiter, this is our emotional state and emotional well-being, blocking expansion, growth, and learning. The moon is also going to oppose Uranus, so our emotional state and well-being is going to be blocking us from being unique and original. So our comfort zone is pretty much taking heed, and we're not really going to want to expand and get out of our comfort zone and be something unique and be something original during these next 2 days. The moon is going to come into a sextile with Pluto. I like this. This is the opportunity to transform. It's an opportunity, so the energy is going to be there. But it's up to you whether or not you actually want to transform or not. And it's in the sign of transformation. So transform. And again, whatever happened when the moon was in Libra that is causing you to get some turbulent energies internally, use it to transform. Because when the moon goes to Sagittarius, once again, it's ascension time. So the moon is still in a conjunction with the south node. So we're still, even though the new moon is over, we're still kind of, letting things go. We're still kind of cleaning house. We're still kind of transforming partnerships and relationships and certain things like that. Let's see what house you have Scorpio in, because now that it's like the moon's in Scorpio, we're going to be like transforming things in the Scorpio house versus when it was like in the new moon. We're like letting go of things in our Libra house. So look in your Scorpio house, because you're going to be letting go of things in your Scorpio house now. And with the moon conjuncting Mars, we're really going to be motivated to let go of the past concerning whatever area of life you have Scorpio in. So the moon trines Saturn right now, but at the end of the transit, it's going to square it. So for right now, with the moon trining Saturn, this is the gift of being able to be grounded, connect to reality, be structured, be orderly. When it squares Saturn, though, at the end of the transit, so like, what's today? The 16th, the 18th? Around the 18th, when it squares Saturn, it's going to be challenging to be orderly. It's going to be challenging to be grounded in reality. It's going to be challenging to get things done, to focus on the mission. So yeah, take heed to that. The moon is also going to sextile Venus, or it's sextiling it right now. It's the opportunity to indulge in pleasure, the opportunity to indulge, period, the opportunity to relax, the opportunity to connect to your values, and the opportunity to connect to your sense of beauty, opportunity for self-care as well. The moon also sextiles Lilith, so that's the opportunity to feel guilt, the opportunity to connect to your sense of shame and embarrassment, and use it to transform. The moon again is conjuncting Mars, so we're also going to be reacting and responding to and connecting to our rage, our anger. So if we're feeling shameful and embarrassed, you might just get really fucking angry about it and boom, transform. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're lower octave, put it out on other people and blame other people, places, and things. And then when the moon goes in Sagittarius, you just fucking downgraded, because when the moon is in Sagittarius, it's either ascension or descension, like straight up on a small micro level, but you're still gonna feel it, bitch. So plant good seeds during these 2 days. The moon is going to come into a trine with Neptune. This trine tells me that it's going to be a gift these next 2.5 days. Well, it's going to trine like at the end of the transit. But when it does trine, this tells me that we're going to have a gift from the universe to be in La La Land, to be in our delusions. With it being the moon being in Scorpio, we're probably just going to be in our feelings as fuck, in a self delusion, and trying to justify some sort of meaning and reasoning of why something happened, because it's going to be on the cusp at that point of Sagittarius. So we're going to be like, oh my gosh, my internal world is so turbulent because of this, that, and the third, and adding all these meanings and reasonings and being in a complete delusion. Or higher octave, it could be the gift to indulge in your creativity, use all those turbulent emotions to make a fire ass song, to paint a fire ass painting, and yeah, it's just going to be the gift of creativity, or we could kind of, it's going to be on the cusp of Sagittarius at that point, the gift of expanding on our dreams, right? We wanted to be an artist, but now we want to be an artist that manages multiple other artists. You know what I'm saying? Like expanding on our dreams, really tapping into our drive with the conjunction to Mars and our motivation, and just, yeah, working on our goals. Just make sure with the square to Saturn that you are practicalizing these dreams and grounding down these dreams into reality. It's going to be a challenge to do that, especially when it comes with the trine, getting all these, creative ideas and expanding on our dreams, but just make sure that they're grounded to reality, and that you are actively like engaging with like reality, and like bringing it down here and not just keeping it all like in your mind and internal world, and just make sure it can sustain you in the material world.